At my son's graduation party, my sister walked over to the gift table, picked up his gift bag, dropped it in the trash can, and said he'd never be anything. I took my son's hand and walked him out without a word. The next morning, Dad called desperate, begging me to talk to the bank before they repossessed her car. My son Jalen just turned 18 years old. He graduated high school with a 3.8 GPA, a partial scholarship to a state university, and a job he'd been working since junior year at a hardware store where his boss wrote him a recommendation letter calling him the best employee he'd ever hired. I'm proud of him in a way that doesn't fit into normal words. There isn't a sentence big enough for what that kid means to me. I raised Jalen alone after his mom left when he was 6. She moved out of state and never looked back. No phone calls, no birthday cards, no holidays, no apologies, no explanations, nothing. For 12 years, it's been the two of us against the world. Every problem, every setback, every parent-teacher conference, every late night when he was sick and I was the only one there. We figured it all out one day at a time. He's a good kid, a genuinely good person, and he earned every single thing he's gotten in his life through hard work, discipline, and showing up every single day. My sister Renee has never liked Jalen. She has never once said those exact words out loud, but you can feel it every single time she walks into a room where Jalen is standing. The way she talks past him, the way she looks through him like he's not standing right there, the way she skips over his name in conversation like he doesn't count as a real person. When Jalen made honor roll in 9th grade, I told the family at dinner and Renee said, that doesn't really mean much at public schools. When he got his first job at 16, she said, hope he doesn't think that makes him special. When he got accepted to college with scholarship money, she shrugged and said, lots of people go to college. That's not an achievement. After the college comment, I stopped bringing up anything about Jalen when Renee was in the room. Every single time I shared something good about my son, she found a way to shrink it down until it meant nothing. I got tired of watching her do it, and I got tired of watching nobody stop her. But the graduation party was different. This wasn't a report card I was mentioning at dinner. This was his moment. The biggest day of his life so far. I was not going to let a single person make him feel small on a day he had earned. I saved up for 3 months and put down a deposit on a room at a community center about 10 minutes from our house. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean, and it was his. Set up tables with cloths in his school colors, hung streamers from the ceiling, ordered a custom cake with his name and graduation year on it. About 40 people came out. Friends he'd grown up with, neighbors who'd watched him grow from a little kid into a young man, teachers who wrote him letters, and a handful of family members who actually cared. My parents came early. Renee showed up 45 minutes late with her boyfriend trailing behind her. She didn't say hello to anyone. She didn't congratulate Jalen. She walked straight to the back corner, sat down with her arms crossed, and looked visibly annoyed from the second she came through the door like being there was a punishment. People brought gifts and stacked them on a table near the entrance. Cards, envelopes, a few wrapped boxes. Someone gave Jalen a nice watch. His boss from the hardware store brought an envelope with $200 cash in it and a handwritten note that said he was proud of him. Jalen kept walking back to that table all night just to look at everything and smile. That smile right there. That's the reason I work doubles. That's the reason I drive a car with 180,000 miles on it. That's what 12 years of solo parenting looks like when it works, and I wasn't about to let anyone take it from him. Around 8 p.m., I was in the back grabbing more ice when my cousin grabbed my arm. You need to come to the front right now. I walked over and saw Renee standing by the gift table. She was holding one of Jalen's gift bags, a blue one with tissue paper sticking out the top. She looked at it, held it up like she was inspecting it, then dropped it straight into the trash can next to the table. Jalen was standing about 10 feet away watching the whole thing. Renee turned to him and said loud enough for the entire room to hear, let's be honest, he'll never be anything. A party doesn't change that. 40 people went silent. My father was sitting in a chair by the door. He didn't stand up. Mom covered her mouth with her hand but didn't say a single word. Nobody in that room opened their mouth. Jalen's face didn't crumble the way you'd expect. It went flat, empty. The face of a kid who's heard things like that so many times from so many people that he's learned to stop showing pain because nobody ever does anything about it anyway. Jalen starts college in the fall.